on so we're gonna get started. Well, happy marvelous Monday, everyone. Thank you for joining us. As I stated earlier, as my trainer, Frederick Howe, two-star double platinum, the one that done everything first here in this amazing company. I promise I will be strong, but I won't be long. So for those who don't know me, my name is Patrice Avils Vance. I am the platinum out of sunny California. I am the California platinum. And I'm actually, it's here in Las Vegas. I have a secondary home now in Vegas, so I will be traveling and working from both areas. So I have a remote office here, Danger Zone Travel and Divas in Power. So I know that my Divas in Power that's here in Las Vegas is probably like, thank God she's making her way on over here to Vegas. But I just kind of wanted, we got a couple of more trainings that we're going to be doing, that we're going to be going out for the holiday. And we just kind of want to get you guys prepared. As I told some of my team members, you want to finish out 2023 strong. It doesn't matter if you're team building or if you're booking travel or you're just trying to organize your business and making sure that you have the tools that you need to be successful, whether that is your vision board or your vision for your company or your mission statement for your company, or if it's just a small marketing plan or your travel plan. It's time for you to sit down and just roll up your sleeve, because that's what I'm going to do, family. I have decided that I am going to take the rest of the year off. I will still be working behind the scenes with my Elite Eight team that will be assuring that Platinum Racers and the Raw squad continue to run successfully. And I'm just going to step back. I'm going to step back, look at how did I finish out at the end of this year? Did I finish out where I wanted to finish out? What worked, what didn't work, and how can I improve and be successful in this industry, especially in the special needs, right? And I've been kind of struggling that I have registered for the 360 conference with Clea, but I also, and that's in later part of April, middle part of April, but I also want to support the Ability Expo. But of course, the Ability Expo here in California is going to be the same time that we hosted our regionals. And that's what happened last year. So, I mean, this past year. So I didn't be able to participate. So I'm thinking about traveling in May, but then I have the 360 Clea. Then if I can do the Ability Expo, and then I have my big event in at the end of May. So it's just kind of working the logistics to make sure that, one, I'm healthy enough to accommodate what I'm looking to accommodate. So what I'm saying to you guys, everyone should have their schedule pre-planned already. That's going to help you move forward into 2023 with special disabilities. I'm not going to talk about all the other travel, because that travel is going to be there. But what do you want to do with your business as a special disability travel consultant, agent, professional, wherever you decide to call yourself, right? But also, how much money do you want to make? It's not all about the money, but you have to place a number somewhere. Or how many proposals do you want to provide? Or how many special disability clients that you want to reach out to? Or how many special disability groups that you're in, where that you can learn from them also, and just kind of working back with that administrator to see if you can post that you are a travel advisor. Remember I said last week, you need to get that 30-second elevator pitch? Because that 30-second elevator pitch is so crucial and so important to your business. So when you are posting in that group, you got 30 seconds to get that audience attention. You guys might be thinking I'm crazy, but I'm not. I didn't get to post it last week because, of course, you guys know I laid my dad to rest on Thursday, and I just had to mentally shut down. My team said, you need to shut down because you're still working. You're not going to be able to grieve and do whatever you need to do because you always think about everybody first. So what I'm going to tell you guys, to finish out the year, make sure that you are registered for taking your ICB. Oh, I get it confused every time. Your IBCEES training. The code is, and if Adrian or Deidre, if you guys can post this for me, the discount code is Beaches, capital Beaches 2023. Put it in there, take the test, $75. And of course, we all also know that the special needs at sea is where you really truly want to start so you can get that certificate. And then there's others that you can look at. But I always say, when you're looking at other trainings, make sure that it's free 99. You don't want to pay for anything but the autism professional travel agent. And they have made some changes. I got an email. They have updated things. They have a lot that's on the digital board. So there's a lot that you can just Google and find out a little bit more about it. But you have to write out your goals. And my goals is I'm only going to train, educate, and retain. Retain, educate, and train. That is my motto for 2024. Retain my existing business partners, continue to educate, and continue to train. So I'm just saying for you to it's not left up to your sponsor or your gold or your platinum on what you have decided to do with your business. And if you really, really, really are looking at the roll your sleeve and dive into the special needs and special disability travel, I'm going to tell you, I am revamping my website. I'm looking to put everything underneath one umbrella. So I'm looking to do some things so I can be more visible on social media and in the industry. So when they Google on CLIA, they'll see that I am a special disabilities travel advocate. When they Google me on Travel Leaders, I'm up there with the others and being a special disability travel agent. When they Google on Google that they're looking for a special needs or special travel agent, absolutely, I'm going to be there. The same thing with the Better Business Bureau. When they Google Dangers on Travel or they Google that they're looking for a special needs travel agent, guess who's going to come up? So it's just that you have to put the work in and you have to make sure that you're out there in your backyard and letting everybody know that you are a special needs advocate. I always say this, you need to be reaching back out to any of those special needs nonprofit organizations or regional center, or just I can just go on and on and on. But I always tell you that you have to Google it and you have to figure it out and you build your brand. None of us are competing against each other, but what I guarantee you, you would set yourself aside being a special disability travel agent, because not everybody of the 28,000 business partners that we have, I always see every week between 25 and 30 people on. 25 to 30 people out of 28,000 business partners that we have in this business, you're most definitely going to set your business aside. And it's not a competition. It's just that you have decided deep down in your heart. And I always say this week in and week out, it takes a special type of person that wants to participate or wants to be a special needs travel agent. And it's not like you got to go on and learn it. You got to get in it and understand it. And you got to search those sites so you can know exactly. All I can tell you is I am going to take the time to work on my YouTube channel to get all of everything moved over to the YouTube channel with a playlist and make it private. So you guys have an opportunity to go and listen to all of the trainings that we have done. That is my commitment to you guys. Now, I'm not going to say it's going to happen overnight because I still have a big project that I'm working on that's really have taken up a lot of my time on a daily basis that I didn't participate. But, I'm not going to complain because it's something that I claimed and I affirmed and I put it on my vision board and I was able to visually close it out. So we're going to get started. We're going to talk a little bit about Virgin Voyages. And I just want to just kind of share, this came to me. I did see a post from Randy from Royal Caribbean. I just love me some Randy. And he kind of ran into, oh my God, Lindsay Wagner, which has been promoted. So now we have another BDM, I think her name is Megan, that is supporting us on Virgin. But they sent something over about important information for sailors with disabilities. And when I seen this now, grant me, I did drop this on my page a couple of days ago, so my clients can know. And then I just posted in the special needs page. So you guys will have access to it. I say dive into it. This might be a way that you might see something, because my goal is to take what Virgin have, to take what Royal Caribbean have, and to take what Carnival have, or we might just use all three of them and just put it in our group. So if you're booking a cruise for Carnival, this is the form that you need to fill out, and you have the information for Carnival, you have the information for Royal, and now you have your information for Virgin, and working on some of the other suppliers. But what I wanted to do is just kind of let you know that they have created an epic sea change for all means of what they say for all, including sailors with disabilities. So they have the pre-voyage sailor service team is standing by to discuss. So you guys have any questions in reference to any client with disabilities, you can most definitely reach out to them, and they will work with you with reasonable accommodations, requests related to disabilities, and you just fill out the special service request form so that they can be able to work with you with reasonable accommodations to enjoy. This is something that you want to fill out. But you're going to take this form and you're going to get all the questions that you need answered from your client. Then you're going to send this to Virgin, and then Virgin is going to come back. You guys are going to have a dialogue. At least you'll be able to have some great information to go back to your client, right? So the goal is the onboarding service team will be able to work with you and manage all of your accessible needs. So once you hand this off to Virgin, then you can let Virgin know I'm the travel advisor, but I most definitely want to make sure that we have my client engaged. So before we go into some of this, let's talk about they have their mobility, they have hearing, vision, service animals, dietary requirements, cabins and suites, any additional assistance before and during your voyage. You got your pre-voyage crew that would make sure that all your questions, any additional needs, any service available before and during your voyage, that they'll be there to provide you with adequate time to prepare for you for your arrival. They're going to be there to make sure they got the initial things that you need for has been notified by medical, physical, or any other requirements that you would need prior to that client traveling with them. And that's the key piece. But you as a travel advisor need to understand. So I'm not going to click through all the download pieces, because I did post it inside of the special disability folder. Group. You can go in, you can click on it, you can review it, because I get this every week. Well, what type of disabilities? Well, we got multiple types of disabilities, and you can always Google disabilities on mobility, disabilities on vision, disabilities on dietary requirements, service dogs. It's all there. And I always say, Coach Val and I always say, Google is your best friend. Google is your best friend. And this is the thing. I do so much Googling that I print out everything. I have a playbook, and I have it sorted. My playbook is exactly vision, physical, mental, service dogs. I have a little binder for every last one of them. So if I need to know something or something that I have researched, I can go back and take a look at it. So you have to think about everybody's situation is going to be limited. It's going to be a little bit different. So we just need to make sure that you as a travel advisor is working with that client and with Virgin to ensure that we can come up with alternative travel arrangements. We want to make sure that everything is suitable, and we want to make sure that we don't have an unsatisfied client. So you guys be able to go through this. You can review it. They have the onboard for onboarding, how you can meet the crew, first make, great information available throughout the process of their service needs. Here goes some of the most frequent questions. Are the cabins for the sailors with disabilities are required to use the mobility devices? All that information's there for you. Review it. Are the wheelchair accessible cabins? They're going to have that information there for you. Can I bring my mobility scooter on board? That is absolutely you can. Some people like to bring their own power scooter, but this is where you can be able to rent those type of devices and type of equipment through SED, the special needs group. I need to bring my oxygen aboard. What is the procedure? They're going to tell you. You know, you might have to work with to get SMD to get oxygen cylinders and things like that. All that information is there. I don't want to go through all of the information, reading into detail, because this is what you guys are going to do. You're going to review this. Today is the 4th of December. Wow, can't believe we got 26 more days before this month is over with. Are you able to accommodate dietary requests? Allergies, absolutely. I have my sponsor and my very good friend. We travel all together, Pamela Tate. She had dietary issues. She have allergies, and every time we go somewhere, we have to say, "Don't cook her food with peanuts." She have allergy for shellfish. So these are the things that you need to know about your client. What services are available for the sailors? Who is deaf, hard of hearing? Do they need a kit? I know you probably say, "Oh my God, Patrice, this is a lot." But when you get custom in answering these questions, knowing the questions to ask and get custom in answering those questions, you're going to start, it's just going to start rolling off. It's just like that 30-day, my God, that 30-second elevator pitch. They got tons and tons of more that you can read on that. But what I wanted to do is really go up to the form itself. Fill out the form. Says a drop down. Tons of great information. And this is what they're going to suggest. I'm over here trying to, let me just get this out the way. Trying to move you guys over a little bit here, but for some reason, there we go. There we go. So this here is just versions. Special service request form. Everyone has been asking, what kind of form? How do we fill out one? Well, here, you really don't have to duplicate it because it's already in place. The same thing for Royal Caribbean, and we'll talk a little bit about Royal Caribbean next week. Carnival's a little bit different. I've been working with them behind the scenes. I'm trying to get with Drew so we can figure out the best way on how we can, really propose what they have for special disabilities. But I will be putting a presentation together on all of the services here. But it says, they're welcome to sailors with disabilities. Looking forward for your arrival date. Also want to let us know in advance any special requirements that you may have. Please fill out the following information. Only information applies to your upcoming voyage. Submit it. It's no different than you paying off your cruise 45 days before, summer 60 days before. It's no different than paying off 45 days as you're doing a land. So always remember, when you're filling out these forms, they need to be submitted 45 days prior to your client traveling, right? So you're going to have the date that the client is traveling, the reference booking that's referenced, the client's name and last name. And you want to make sure that it's the name that's on their passport, their legal name that's on their passport. If they don't have a passport and you're going to a location that you don't need the passport, then you want to make sure what's on their legal name on their birth certificate. You also want to make sure that we have the email address, the contact number information. Now, this is really important. And if we can figure out how we can make this work where we can copy it and clone it, where you can be able to provide it to your client, we will work on that also. So you want to talk about the medical conditions. You want to talk about the medical condition is really crucial because you need to know this. The medical conditions are for the medical center are equipped to provide first aid for any basic emergency care. You're responsible in making arrangements for delivery, retrieval of any medical devices, equipment. Please do not pack medical items into your luggage. So this is something that you can go through with your client if we don't have this already prepared for you guys. You're going to walk this through your client. Your client is going to share this information with you. I would use electrical power for medical equipment. Limited may be applied. You need to be able to tell them. Your client need to be able to tell you, so you'll be able to tell Virgins, right? I'm having medical equipment supplies delivered. So who are those? What type of supplies? When are you looking to have them delivered? And who is the supplier? Is it S&G? Because S&G has a lot of contracts and connections with majority of our cruise lines, and they work closely with CLIA. Please tell me what type of a medical equipment and supplies that your client is going to be needing to be delivered. Okay, let's see here. Please provide the name, contact information. Same thing I just said. The only difference is I just said it in all one speech, but they have it here. So that's the kind of information that you need to be working with your clients, and you need to be pulling that information out the best of your abilities. So for mobility, sailors required using a wheelchair or any other mobility aid throughout their voyage must provide their own device. Sailors using scooters will be needed to book accessible cabins. The ability aid must be stored inside the cabin or suite when it's not in use. The standard cabin doorways are 23 inches wide. Wheelchairs or ability cabins 34 inches wide. So they're telling you, you already know what is the standard doorways. Okay. I request an ability cabin, which is the choice. Type of accessibility cabin, you need to let them know. I plan to travel with the mobility aid, wheelchair, electric scooter, walker, etc. You need to tell them. Your client needs to tell you, so you make sure that you have everything there for whether it's Virgin or any of the other cruise lines. I plan to have a mobility aid delivered. If you don't know what these are, I'm going to say Google it. Google it. Google is your best friend. It's going to outline it for you so you truly can understand it. So when you're having that conversation with your client, you guys are both on the same page. Please tell us the type of ability aid. So you're going to ask the client, so what type of ability aid is it? And sometimes you might, because you knew it this, you might ask them what do they use it for. If you don't, go back to the fact-finding process, because you're already doing the fact-finding on the front end as the travel agent to know what they want. This is going to be more in detail and working with the supplier. So if you have a service animal, sailors are traveling with a trained service dog must attain the requirement import permits for each country regulations. So wherever they're traveling, and if you're going to multiple countries, you most definitely have to make sure that they have it. Please be aware that the process takes weeks or months to complete. Additional, some countries may not allow animals to enter. Permits for ports to call must be sent to Virgin prior to selling. So it's going to be a lot of work that you're going to have to do, because the last thing you want to do is get your client there and then they refuse to allow the service dog to participate. Then you're going to have an upset client. The sailor must bring the original documents required by each port when they have these available for the available times. Sailors traveling with service dogs should contact Virgin as soon as possible to discuss the requirement and documentations that the dog relief areas and availability of stored things. Care supervisor, you guys have to make sure that you're having a conversation with Virgin in reference to your service dogs. So let's talk a little bit about the hearing and visual. Same thing. Service for sailors and hearing disabilities may include captured television, movies, adaptive listening systems, room communication kits, state-of-room TTY, and scheduled American Sign Language interpreter for the voyage to embark and disembark in the U.S. Service for the sailors with visual disability may include adaptive format, selected communication, video described movies, Braille language. Again, you have to request a hearing kit. So you want to be able to do your legwork to make this so efficient for your client where they say, wow, whenever I decide to travel, I'm going to most definitely reach out to Deidre. I'm going to be referring Deidre to all of my disability clients and friends because she is so thorough. She's going to make sure that everything we need is in place. And not only that, once you get that confirmation and that Virgin have agreed to everything that you guys have and agreements, you're going to make sure you're going to get that to your client. That's going to get emailed to your client so your client can have all the same information that Virgin has, that you have. They can have this because I'm a paper person. I print out everything that I need to do when I'm traveling because I do large groups. I do large groups multiple times every year. And when you travel with large groups and when you're hosting the rooms yourself and when you are doing all the transportation, you got to have copies of everything. You have to print up everything so you know exactly what those clients are requested, any special, anything, accommodations, special accommodations, any birthdays, anything. You want to make sure that you're on point. So you want to request a TTY phone for your cabin. I request American Sign Language for those that's blind for the entertainment. I'm blind, have low vision, and required assistance. And then you're going to explain what type of assistance. You're going to get all this for your client. Because a client that has disabilities might not be able to fill out this form, you guys. They might see it and says, oh, I'm going to look for someone else to do my travel because I don't have time to do it. That's what's going to set you aside. And once you learn how to do these forms, you're going to master it. It's going to be so easy for you. Please explain what type of assistance you need. I request alternative format materials. Please type out alternative format materials you need. These are going to be the questions and things that you're going to be asking your client. We're not going to know all of this. I'm going to tell you, however, the stuff that I'm asking right now, I am not going to know this. I'm not going to even know this when I'm first doing the first piece of having that conversation with the client. That I'm so excited I'm going to book this travel. But since we're doing cruises, since we're going to do a cruise, there's going to be more intensive questions that I need to ask so we can make sure that we have everything that you need to have a successful vacation, right? So you have your oxygen. Sellers must take the independent delivery arrangements with a third party for rental and return the oxygen cylinder to related medical equipment. Some medical equipment would meet you there at the port for your arrival and for the departure. And I know that S&G does. That's why it's so crucial that you guys all are registered with S&G and that you guys are travel agents. There's only 2 cylinders per cabin that can be personally hand carried aboard by sailor. All the other quantities must be delivered. Oh, okay. At the terminal. And if you're unable to coordinate, you have to transfer those cylinders. What I'm going to say is, with those oxygen cylinders, you really want to make sure that you're reaching out to Virgin. As soon as you find out that you got a client that's going to go to Virgin, I'll be reaching out to the special assistance group to be able to get all of my questions answered. So when I'm having a conversation with my client, I can be able to answer this stuff intelligently. Tell us what size of oxygen tank that you would like to bring aboard. I plan personally to carry. It all depends if they're going to carry it. It all depends what size it is. It all depends on how it needs to be delivered. Then it says, I will plan to compress the oxygen delivery to the ship. Tell us again about how many tanks you're going to be needing. It all goes back to asking those questions. We always say that you have to fact find, right? I know we all get excited. We're getting our first deal. We're going to ask 50 million questions. It's great. It's okay to ask those 50 million questions, but you want to make sure that you're asking the right question. So you really want to make sure when you build your profile sheet So you're getting as much as information that you can. You don't want to inundate a client on a profile sheet with all this information. They're going to be overwhelmed. That's going to be the next step. Once you guys really figure out who the supplier or the cruise line that you're going to select, then you're going to have that conversation with your client and say, I think that Virgin is going to be a great fit for you because this is where you guys will who you like to travel with. They do have a special disability form that need to be filled out. And I would love to sit with you if you have 30 to 45 minutes of your time. And you're going to break them because they can't sit that long. But you need to be able to answer those questions. Because as you're having a conversation with them and you're typing that information, guess what? You get to submit it. Now, I don't know what happens behind that submit button. I'm hoping most likely that they send you an email, you as the agent, to make sure that you can be able to have a conversation with them. And then you get that information over to your client. I just think there's a little bit simpler than Norwegian. Norwegian has 50 million questions. But this is the thing. As you building that job form or that Google Doc, you can take something from all of the cruise lines and you just can build something generic to make sure that you ask those questions. I do have one that I built on Royal because I was doing a group before COVID. And because of COVID, I had to cancel it. But I had a lot of the information there that I needed. So I will show that next week. I'm hoping that during out this break, that me and the Eternal team just kind of can work behind the scenes. Dave just shared with you guys, we're coming back on Monday the 21st, and we're looking to be greater, well, better than, gooder than goodier, as Derek Velasquez would say, but having some more tangible information for you guys to utilize. And a lot of that stuff will be posted in the special needs group. And then if it's any recordings, we'll be uploading. So let's just talk about the special needs group. We really need to make sure that when you guys are submitting your names to be able to be part of the group, that you answer all the questions. Okay, Ron Archer is not a Platinum Founder Council member, nor is David McCuddy. So you need to know who your Founder Council member is, and it's the reason why. I have a ton of teletravel agents are now pinging me to be a part of our group. And then I get some parents that says, oh, I was just Googling and I seen your post in one of the special needs and I followed you and I wanted to see if I could be part of your group. Unfortunately, no. But if you need a travel advisor to reach out to you to help you with your travel, we'll be more than happy to get someone to contact you. Or if you're looking to become a travel agent, then we can kind of talk about what you can do as a special disability travel agent. I do have a group of special needs travel agents. I have about 6 of them. They are part of my special needs cheer program. I have 3 of my cheerleaders and 3 of their parents, and all they book is Disney, SeaWorld, Lego World, Disney, SeaWorld, Legoland, and Universal. I think I said that too. And they do both California and Orlando. So there's a way, people always say, well, when you say you're looking for special needs travel agent, and then I get tons of the agents hitting me up. Nope, I'm looking for prospects for those that's out there that have children and that they would love to travel. And now they get an opportunity to travel and they have all the amazing travel agent perks. And we're going to kind of talk about a little bit about those travel agent perks. I think I'm probably going to bring in our gold consultant, Kia Mayweather, on a Monday if she's able to get on and just kind of talk about some of those travel agent perks that you can utilize as a travel agent, but also utilize some of those perks to help your clients. So, she's always sharing some amazing things with us. Then my next piece is, you guys, I am going to book a group of special disability clients on this amazing group. Okay. So I wanted to show you, this is where you can go down and get the request form, right? If you need any assistance. Here is the sailor service crew that you could always reach out to. And if it's any more, you know, there you go. FAQs, it's all here. You can just go in here. I'm just telling you, we're giving you guys homework. It's really crucial that you guys understand it and know it. I'm not saying try to understand and know everything, but at least the basics of that supplier. And they have their pre-voyage policies, they have their health and safety policies, other topics that you can utilize for accessibility. So it's all here. You know, I'm 18. Can I bring alcohol on board? Really, y'all? Why you ask that question? You guys already know. You might be bringing 2 bottles of wine. I'm pregnant. Can I still go? Well, you don't want to be going when you know you can very close to have your baby. And if you know that you're at risk, but they have questions here. I cannot travel on my boards. Can someone else take my place? There's just regular questions that you might want to ask, that they might be asking, that you will have all the information here. We already know you can't bring a weapon, but these are regular policy questions, period, for just everyone. But it's there. You know, they got the tar belt. So as they decide that they're going to cruise, and I heard that when you do a group, don't book it as a group first, book it as individuals, and then go back to the BDM and have it added as a circle. And then when you add it as a circle, then you have all of your rooms together, and then you can add it to that group. Then, you know, choosing your cabin. Again, we're going to go back to accessibilities because that's what we're focusing on today. I just want to just make sure that, you know, we winding down to the end of the year. I know everyone is building their goals. Everyone is trying to figure out, you know, what type of product or service you're going to book. But, you know, I always believe you got to be the product of the product. I love Virgin. I went on my Virgin Free cruise on December last year around this time. And all I can tell you is I had a time of my life. And it is an adult cruise. So there's not little people running around. I love little people. Don't get me wrong. I got tons of little people running around every day. But it's just so great to be able to go on the cruise where it's just adults and you can be able to enjoy yourself and be able to have tons and tons of fun. So they have everything here. Now, if you have not started taking your Virgin trainings, I'm going to say, get it done. Family, I'm going to say I procrastinated for the last 2 years. I started it. I probably have maybe 3 other large modules done. I got 2 more to do. And I'm going to take my time while I am shutting down for the end of the year. And I'm going to focus on branding. I'm going to focus on my training. And I'm going to focus on what's going to help me be successful in 2024 in this market. You can have a niche in any market, but this is a niche market that has not been tapped in, and you most definitely want to get tapped into it. So I'm trying to work with some suppliers that really, really cater and focus to special disabilities. And as Deidre said, we're looking to do some things different. This is what our plan is, and we're hoping that we can make this happen. We're hoping to have at least one supplier on once a month, right? And then we have Q&A once a month. That means that we'll be rotating out 2 trainings a month, or if it's 5 weeks in a month, then 3 trainings. But that's what we're trying to do to be able to allow some of our trainers, because some of them have went back to work because they're teachers and educators. And so we're not dominating everyone trying to be on something every month. So we're going to do a rotation. And, you know, we got 3 that's really kind of plays to really work and do a lot of what we do. And that's Stacy out of Las Vegas, Deidre out of Detroit, myself out of, California and Las Vegas. And then we brought on Adrienne Young. She just kind of taps into a little bit of everything for us. But that's what we're looking to do, and that's how we're going to map it out. Again, we have asked if you have any suggestions on training as we're on this downtime, please inbox them to Deidre Driscoll or myself, Patrice Evans Vance, and I'm going to tell you guys what I told everybody today. Don't take it personally if I don't get back with you guys. I am kind of stepping back, I'm still kind of in the grieving process, and I just need to really, I will get back with you. So it's nothing personal. Just reach out to either Deirdre or myself and get that information for those topics. So then we can look at topics to be able to train on the topics that you guys are really looking to do. And then I have some topics that I know that everyone wants to learn about, and that is autism at the seas, how you can be a travel agent for autism at the seas and get paid directly through them, and or you can still bring it through Archer. It doesn't really matter, but it does matter when it depends on how your business is structured. If you're LLC or if you're S corporation, you most definitely can work with them directly because you have those items, and those we already have our own E&O insurance. And if you're not, then you're able to still work directly with them, but your booking would go directly through Archer. So, and there's quite a few companies like that does not really do a lot of business with Archer, but still you're able to book with them. So like Cultural Holidays and some of the others. So we're going to be looking at Accessible to Go. I had a conversation with them about 3 months ago when I first started this, and they do small scale bookings. Now, since we have Evo Plus, we might be in the line of what they have to do with Ability to Go. But I have a call with them next week and trying to see what I could do to get her on, just kind of talk about their product and what they have to offer and how we can be able to play into that as travel advisors. So you guys just want to just really figure out what is going to be your niche in this market. Do you want to do cruises? I'm going to say, if you're looking to do cruises, you most definitely need to get your clear card regardless. They're $79. Your clear card is, to me, is your first card is ensuring that you are a travel advisor. And not only that, you get multiple discounts, upgrades, everything. But the other cool piece is when you register, and for those that's deciding that they want to get theirs on the consular or they want to get accredited or they masters, you get 4 free trainings every year. So you guys, I'm at my number. I just need to get everything in to get my accreditation as an accredited cruise counselor. I have it. I just been not on procrastinating and not taking care of what I need to take care of. I mean, I can't ask you guys to do something and not do it, right? So I'm just gonna keep it honest. I've been procrastinating, but I'm taking the time to get all that stuff done because I want to post at the end of the year that I have my certification as a cruise counselor with CLIA. So there's other classes. I just registered for one class that's going to be 4 modules, and that's for event planning. Because my next goal is, okay, you guys think I'm crazy, but I'm going to keep it real and transparent because everybody know I love claiming things. I want to charter out a whole ship. I have a client that I'm working with right now, and I have another client that's looking. I want to learn everything I need to learn to understand how can I do that? Because some of those clients might have disabilities. So I need to be able to know how I do that, right? So they have all the different trainings for you. They have cruising 101, cruising 102, how to position yourself, how to be, how to market and brand, how to do the business aspect of it. They got tons of training. If you did not know, you get 4 free training classes. Everybody jumping on that bandwagon and was paying $29.95 for some of those classes, and you didn't have to take. You can still take them, but you don't have to pay the $29.95 or the $59.95. So you got to get re-registered for CLIA. The window opened up about a couple of weeks ago. Yes, it's going to take time for us to get our cards because everybody is renewing, but you most definitely can get your digital card there once you register. I'm going to tell you, do not sit on this, okay? Do not sit on this because our special disability family will travel on cruises before they do a land. and especially because of the traveling on it. But you have to know your audience, right? You have to know your audience. So that's why I'm going to go back to New Jersey. I'll be in New Jersey twice next year because I'm going to do Ability Expo in New Jersey because I just I love everybody, but just the people were so different and genuine and really sincere about a lot of the stuff that they were doing, right? So I'm going to open it up for Q&A. It is 1:48. I don't know if there's any questions inside the,
Yes, Patrice, we do have a couple questions.
okay.
So the first one, would you recommend someone who just signed up and is doing all the trainings for everything to go ahead and do this one too, or wait until all the other trainings are done?
Well, you know what? I'm going to tell
I have
you,
an answer after you're done.
you know what I'm going to tell her, right? Whoever it is. You never wait for anything, not when it comes to special disabilities, because everybody else is taking all those other trainings. Take your trainings, but not the same people as taking the special disability training. When you can get a training for free, complimentary, I say take a special disability training, at least the special disability at sea, and get that one underneath your belt, because if you're new, you want to be able to get access to the beaches or sandals until you are with the company for 3 months. So most definitely plug in and get registered for the SNG. Make sure that you register for the special needs group and stay on our calls. We're going on vacation now, December 19th, and we'll be back on January 21st. But you want to most definitely stay plugged in if this is something that you would like to do. Deidre, would like to?
Our next one, well, I want to just kind of tag on to that, Sarah.
Yes, please.
You're new, and one of the biggest challenges, and this is again my personal disclaimer, this is my view after having been in the company for a very long time and being a professional trainer. Don't overwhelm yourself as a new agent trying to complete a million trainings before you start. Get your business up and running and do the trainings that make sense for you. Now, I know some leaders have different, recommendations of trainings. If travel agent perks are important to you, then do the trainings that are going to give you the personal benefits. If being a cruise specialist is important, then do cruise trainings. If, whatever your specific business model looks like, take a moment before you overwhelm yourself with a million trainings, because there's a million of them and there will always be more. Do the ones that make sense for your particular business. If you're doing things just because someone else did it or they said that you should, and you don't have a purpose for it, you're going to be frustrated trying to get through the training, and it's going to fill up time that you could have been dedicating to something that you're passionate about. So when it comes to special needs, if you're passionate about special needs, look at what within special needs you want to do and do the trainings that support that so that you don't become overwhelmed. Because there's always going to be a training and always time for trainings, but prioritize it so that you don't burn yourself out and get discouraged before you even get started. All right, so next question says, what does it mean training for Virgin? Where do I do that? So Jenny, there is a firstmates.com is the Virgin Voyages travel agent portal. So first you've got to be registered for Virgin as a travel agent, and you can go into the travel cafe, type in Virgin and go to the page and follow the instructions to sign up. But once you're within the Firstmates portal, which is where Patrice was just showing us, there's a training tab and training module in there where you go through their various levels of training. And similarly, the other cruise lines, well, pretty much all of our travel vendors have a similar training module under their own travel agent page. So you would have to be registered with Virgin Voyages first and then do the training.
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
this might be received as maybe a little bit inappropriate, but I've never been on Virgin Cruise Line. I'm familiar with Richard Branson and what he has shared personally. I know that the cruise line, their main source of promotion is that no kids allowed. Also, that it's adult theme. It's described as free spirited. Kind of gives me, based on the little info that I have received, that it might be oh my gosh, uh, group sex, threesomes.
Oh, no, no,
I
no.
know, I'm sorry, It's just that based on his own admission, that's what he has shared of what he has enjoyed in life. But and then I just kind of, the thing is that I'd hate to have clients who have approached me and have expressed interest in Virgin, but they're very conservative, and I'd hate to send them on a cruise. The catch for them was that it was no children, and I'd hate to send them to something where they're in an environment that might be a bit overwhelming, to put it nicely. I'm sorry. That's my question.
Well, that's a fair question, and you don't have to apologize for having that question, Rebecca, first off, because again, it's important for us as travel agents to be informed. Now, with any cruise, well, any traveling client, it's important that you qualify them up front. And so if you have a client that you know is ultra conservative, sending them to a cruise line that has been branded, the freestyle, might not fit, not because of any of those other things, but simply because it's not a good fit for the client. Now Virgin, Voyages, Royal Caribbean, Carnival, Norwegian, Princess, all of them have distinctive personalities. And so if you have a client who's not going to be comfortable in a loud party style environment, then you may want to consider whether or not, that's the brand for them. And you can go Virgin has a YouTube channel. They have some videos, and show it to your client. Let your client make the decision as to whether or not that's an environment they think they'll be comfortable in. To give you an example, I was one of the first agents in Evolution to do the Princess Commodore cruise several years back when we were a brand new company. And I went on the cruise, and we cruised in between Christmas and New Year's. And I took 1-star Platinum Lynn Huddleston with me. For those of you who may or may not know her, she is a Carnival girl, 60 plus cruises, and she loves Carnival and all things Carnival. Well, we walk onto the ship, and there's a string quartet. They're in tuxedos, and they're playing classical music. I'm loving it. And she is looking like, what in the world? Because she's used to Carnival. And when you walk on a Carnival ship, the music is pumping and thumping. They're getting ready to do the hairy chest contest, and totally different experience. So I say that to say that not just specific to Virgin, but to every cruise line, it's important for you to understand the personalities of the various brands. And when you're qualifying your client, make sure that you're matching them up. And if you're not sure, take advantage of some of the things that the brand has put out about itself, not necessarily, things that are, just the generic things about what the ship experience is like. Let them see it, and they can make that decision. So for someone who, is kind of into partying, but maybe not all the time, there are areas of every ship that you can go to and have a more relaxing time. You don't have to participate in all of the group activities on the ships that do group activities. So there's ways for people to enjoy everything, but you do want to make sure that you make an informed decision when you're matching them up, for one, and two, that you also take advantage of the assets that are available for you to help them make that decision. That way, if they decide that they still want to go, it's not on you, that you didn't send them, quote unquote, into something that was wrong for them. They chose that particular brand and made a more informed decision. I mean, for someone who would be uncomfortable on a Virgin cruise, if they look at the Karma Chameleon video and are turned off by it up front, then you know before you put a deposit down. That's one of their videos where they had that song, Karma Chameleon, playing in the
Very,
background. So
very
again,
good.
they
Mhm.
make the decision and it takes the pressure off of you. But although there's some wild and crazy night parties and things, it's not like everybody is in an orgy or anything like that. There, believe it or not, I mean, for people who know or don't know, and since we're adults on the call, there are swingers on every cruise line.
Mhm.
If you're walking past the upside down pineapple and you just think that the little thing on their door spun because the tape came down, you may just not be aware of what's going on in that particular room. So you know, every situation can occur on any given cruise line when it comes to things like that. But you just want to make sure that people understand the differences. I mean, because there's no kids, there is a different atmosphere of people going and having a good time, and they don't have to worry about a million kids in the pool. So it's a different atmosphere, but you want to just make sure that your clients, when you're qualifying them well up front and then offering them the opportunity to make the ultimate decision themselves.
Great. Thank you. That was very helpful. Thank you.
You're welcome. Chance, did you have a question before I go to the next one?
I actually typed it in. It's quite
Oh,
lengthy.
I haven't scrolled down yet. I'll get to it. Okay, let me see. So okay.
And I thought it was Patrice on here, so
Well, she was, but she had to get off, so I'm gonna help finish her questions.
okay.
So I have a client and wife who are booked on a Christmas holiday Virgin Voyages sailing. He tore his meniscus, and the only cabins that are ADA accessible are standard tiers, and they are in a limited view tiers in order to accommodate him. The cabin upgrade is going to cost over $3,000.
It's going to essentially double the cost of their
Right,
groups.
because it's less than 45 days. They are in a non-refundable period. All right. Well, let me ask additional. Do they have travel protection insurance?
They do, and so before I go and ask them to file a claim, I've been on the phone with Virgin. They've been very helpful, and I love those guys. But the guy said, we would have to ask for an exception, and we're very flexible, and we might. I was not given any guarantees or promises, and stuff. So yes, he does have the insurance purchased and everything. What I would like for them to do is just reschedule
Yeah.
for a later time, and hopefully they'll honor the fare. But I didn't know if you had experienced that yourself before I go and do
Not
any.
specific to Virgin. However, writing the exception, make sure that you have the appropriate, documentation or information from their doctor, confirming, the situation.
Right.
I always tell people, ask a hungry dog for a bone. The worst thing they can tell you is no. Ask, but also to help set your clients' expectations, let them know, hey, I'm going to see if we can get an exception, but as a worst case scenario, we would need to file not the disability claim, but file the travel protection claim with the insurance company, and then we can look at rebooking. So that way, they understand both extremes of best case scenario, we can get them to allow you to reschedule. Worst case scenario, we can file an insurance claim. And in either case, you're going to still need basically the same kind of documentation. So to have them go ahead and ask if they can get a note of some sort from their doctor, so
Right.
that you have something to document, because either direction you'll need some documentation.
And I've had that conversation with the client, and they're very flexible and they're cool with it and everything. The only thing that I think I was sort of disappointed about was that if they do, this is according to the phone rep, if they do agree to reschedule them and allow them to go on the same sailing but on a different later date, they will in essence have exhausted their travel protection even without having filed a claim, and they would have to pay another like $226 to renew their travel protection. I
And
thought that was kind of
that's with all of the that's with all of the companies though, because the insurance policy is to that specific sailing.
so okay. So
So,
I see. Okay,
so
so
if
it would not have required a formal claim in order for them to exhaust that policy, correct?
correct, because the policy is specific to the sailing.
Got
And
it. Okay.
so,
So they
if
can't,
they book another cruise and they want to ensure that new date,
right.
because they were still quote unquote protected whether they filed the claim or not.
Copy that. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. I just thought maybe they could just transfer the insurance to the new sailing, but that's not the case.
And it's the same way when it comes to land packages as well. So like, if you book a land package and have to reschedule
Right.
on the new booking, when they rebook it, they would have to purchase a new policy on that new
Okay.
booking.
All right. Cool. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. All right, so I think I want to go through, make sure. Okay, is there a coupon for the autism training that I can use? So we did drop that in and I'm assuming you're referring to the training for IBCCES. That code, the partner code is Beaches 2023, and that's the discount code for the training that you'll enter under, I believe it says partner code, and you'll put that in. The special needs group training is, you can Google special needs group or special needs at sea to access their website, Jenny. And there's information on there. You can search in there for training and get that as well. Okay. All right, I think we got everyone's questions. Last thing before we go, I do want to just again reiterate, we are going to be off for the holidays, December 18th through January 15th. So just to give, for those of you that are marking your calendars and making plans, we will have our last Monday call next Monday. And then after that, we'll be off through January 15th and starting back up on January 22nd. So again, mark your calendars if you need to make plans accordingly. Enjoy your holidays, everyone. And we look forward to seeing you at the beaches and the banks of the world, as well as back here next Monday. Today's meeting is officially over. So have a great night, great evening, everyone.